I think that's the big unknown right here. How many cars can go, and where are they going to be in this group? Going to cause another big wreck when we run out of fuel?
Yeah, so you're trying to position yourself here, stay wide open in the gas, and oh yeah, somebody might run out of gas right in front of you, and you have to be ready to get by them somehow, some way.
Who makes the next move? Who decides it's cool enough and they need to go now? As the leader, Jamie McMurray hits 9 laps to go, Doc.
And they have told Jamie we are close. I have not heard them tell him what they told us, is that they're about a half to 3/4 of a lap short. Chip Ganassi watching left side of your screen. It has been an abysmal year for this team. They have not had a top 20 finish since Pocono in June. How big would this be? But yet they may be a half a lap shy on fuel.
This whole thing can turn inside out in a number of ways in these last 8.5 laps.
Yeah, and who in that pack may possibly miss it even more than they thought and then run out even before then, creating a much worse situation.
Yeah, we saw Casey Kane ran out a few laps sooner than he thought he was going to earlier in the race, and we might see that here. I think you'll see that within about 5 laps to go. That's when I'd be on my toes for that. Still not much you can do to defend against it. You just have to go.
There's Jimmy back in 18th place.
Yeah, there's a pack coming. That second pack with Hamlin and Truex and Kane, they're starting to now get a sniff of this lead draft. They were quite a bit quicker the last lap. They've actually closed the gap. If they get there, they'll have a lot of momentum to see just how far they can go.
Yeah, but you're going to have to stay tucked up pushing, and I just haven't seen anybody be able to stay there that very long. But once you get inside of 5 laps, you got to push and get as much as you can.
David Stremme just off the pit lane in the 30. Again, staying to the apron, letting the leaders come by. Clint Boyer in the 15, Matt Kenseth in the 17. Looks like it's time to push. McMurray to the inside with Kevin Harvick behind him. And Kyle Busch pushing on Harvick. Look at those cars move around at those speeds.
That right there is how you make the most speed. You're literally pushing. You've got a lot of horsepower working together and making that happen. How long can your engine withstand that? Clint Boyer has made this work to perfection so far as he goes to the lead. Hanging back strategy all the way to the front. 6 to go.
Casey Mears, 13, still in the mix. Jeff Gordon and Jr., the team cars together. What about people like Keselowski and Hornish a little further back, coming up 3 wide, 22 and 2. Remember that Clint Boyer is the winner of this race the last 2 straight years.
Well, I don't know about Boyer not letting Kenseth be the man pushing him. That's one of the fastest cars out there.
Oh, trouble! McMurray goes for a spin. And somehow, no one else is involved.
Yeah, we got front end damage here. Job today.
That's a tough break for this team. They had a great car today.
Caution is out with 5 laps to go.
Jamie, come around.
Jamie McMurray being pushed by Kevin Harvick at a place on the racetrack where his car is kind of looked to the eye to be a little unstable at times during the day.
Yeah, and anytime you get hit going through the trial, well, you have a lot of wheel in the car right there. I mean, it's a normal turn that you're making through there. Any contact, as you can see, and wow.
Yeah, McDowell just barely missed him.
That's a shame for Jamie McMurray. He'd done a fantastic job with this car all day. It's going to be tied as to who was leading that lap there. And then what do they do strategy-wise here?
It really was kind of a big break for Hamlin and Kane, Truex, because they're now able to close that gap.
Well, you know they'll be in getting fuel to make sure.
In front of him.
They should, yes. Those cars should make pit stops here.
Coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Two inside. Save fuel, save fuel, save fuel.
Save fuel,
instantly.
save fuel.
I mean, he's telling him that while this wreck's happening. Save fuel. That's how important it is. They don't want to come down pit road.
A couple things here. That's 3 times today we've had a car get spun, and it's been a relatively few number of cars in the incident. It's the grass eat up that splitter.
Yeah, you see how much damage it does to the whole front end.
And second thing, remember at the caution, they freeze the field, go back to the last scoring loop to determine the running order for the restart.
That should probably be Clint Boyer.
So pit road's going to be open here for all of the cars. Lead lap and not on the lead lap. Got 29 of them on the lead lap. Do you give up spots on the track here, Andy?
All right, you can't up front. Those guys up front can't do that. If we know that a lot of cars that, like those cars we mentioned with Kane, Hamlin, Truex, they would likely come down pit road to make sure they can make it. And anybody that knows they can't, that really felt like they were going to run out, period, would have to come down pit road here.
But like the Jimmy Johnson that we heard be told, you know, you're going to run out on the last lap between turn 4 and turn 1. You just stay out here and take this savings.
Well, one thing you got to keep in mind here is that with this green-white checker, there's likely to be another one.
Yeah.
So then you got to factor that in. That would probably, if I'm one of these chasers like Jimmy, I believe I'd come down and get gas and just see what I can get.
Could have up to 3 attempts at a green-white checker finish. It is going to be a split agenda here. A lot of them going to come in, but not all of them.
It's a lot of them, though.
Vince?
It's just going to be a quick splash for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's come from a lap down. He's got a good car. Let's see what he can do to the finish. Doc?
Likewise, Jeff Gordon got to get gas. Casey Mears got to get gas. Whoa! And Mears trying to get out. Biffle sliding in his pit, blocks Mears in. Biffle, they've now got to get gas, and Mears gets by. Biffle lost about 3 seconds trying to get backed up.
Denny Hamlin, we heard Darian Grubb say earlier, they were a little short on fuel. Now they also were about 4 seconds behind the lead pack.
Yeah, big break for this team.
And now the list of those who did not pit and chose to stay out. Clint Boyer, Matt Kenseth, Kevin Harvick, Trevor Bayne, Tony Stewart, Regan Smith, Michael Waltrip, Casey Kane, Terry Labonte. And I'll double check to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Looks like maybe Eric Almirola also did not pit.
You notice the top 3 in points coming in here, they all came down pit road to make sure they could make it. That's smart. Race for a championship.
Add David Reagan and Almirola to the list of those who didn't pit. So it'll be 1 to go this time. A series of overtime finishes here at Talladega, not all that unusual. And remember that if the race is under caution as it comes to its scheduled conclusion in an attempt to give fans a finish under the green flag, NASCAR will extend the race and run a green-white checker finish. Throw the green, race a lap. If they get back to the white flag without a caution, then the race has begun its last lap, and the next flag, be it checkered or yellow, ends the race. How about some of those who did not pit, Jamie?
Well, Gil Martin, the crew chief for Kevin Harvick. You guys are 9th in points at this point. What is your strategy here? You decided to stay out.
Well, Kevin's been trying to save a lot of gas on this entire run with our Budweiser Chevrolet. I mean, we're running up front right now. These caution flags are going to help us. We're about a quarter of a lap from making it right there, so we're right on the money. So only chance we got to win this thing. That's the only chance we got to stay in it, so we're here to win.
Of course, he's talking about staying in the championship, Vince.
Addington Steve, the crew chief for Tony Stewart. How close are you to fuel in the end?
We'll be right on it. I think that if we could as long as we don't have another green-white checker, we'll be in good shape. I think guys crunched some numbers and said we were good to go, so we're going for it.
You spent a lot of time at the back. Now you're up at the front. And you got Tony Stewart with the wheel in his hands. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. He'll get the job done. I think we're in pretty good shape. Took care of our car all day long, and that was the game plan. And now we're going to run them for it.
Thanks for the time, Steve. Alan?
All right, Vince. He sounds relaxed. I'll bet he's not.
No, he's not relaxed, but he does sound confident. He's got Tony Stewart behind the wheels, going to line up fifth on the restart. Green-white checker. I'd be feeling pretty good, too.
Yeah, and you know, something that's going to be a little different here. Two cars can hook up now. If you can find a good partner, you can stay hooked up through these laps, and your car's not going to overheat to get to the checkered flag.
Clint Boyer, the race leader.
What do you think? We're committed now, bud. We're committed. Let's go for a trophy. Let's go for the trophy.
So there's how they made their decision.
Clint Boyer started the day the fourth place driver in the championship, 25 points off of the lead. He's leading the race now, Mike.